I think we need to back up a little bit halfway through or early still in game 3. Things weren't going your way right away, but things turned at a specific moment. And I think we will all remember this forever as the graphic pops up over your shoulder. Our new segment, Anti-Hero of the Week, presented by Revolution Brewing Company. I think the anti-hero is the hero we needed, not the one we deserved. And this one is Kane Guy. Uh, took over the internet, took over the world for a time. 71-year-old Robert Holt, whose identity came out the next day as he was doing a media tour, congratulatory media tour across Chicago. 71-year-old man decided to take out his cane and put some kind of voodoo on everything that was happening on the field against the Astros. He had like the evil eye, the hex eye, and he was shaking his cane at him, and it totally turned the tide of the game as bizarre things started happening. That's where I think that was before the Grandal home run, definitely before Garcia's home run.
He put the magic into Garcia's
yes.
bat.
The Southside Sorcerer is what I was calling him. More bizarre shit was happening later on. There was like 5 infield hits off of Greinke that led to a few runs, but the coup de grace was the swinging bunt essentially from Grandal that went to first base, and he took a very odd route to get to first base, which made the throw home to get, I believe it was Louis Robert out at home, bounced off his shoulder and went awry and into the stands, scoring, I think 2 runs scored on that. And that's when the wheels came off. And I don't think it was any coincidence that Kane Guy was heavily involved in that, just prior to the mayhem that we saw unfold. A lot of talk about that play. Dusty Baker came out of the dugout and was freaking out. I thought AJ and Adam Amin and even Adam Wainwright did a great job explaining what was going on. That there's, you talk about the base run. The base runner going to first has to stay inside that box in foul territory to give the catcher a way to throw to first. Well, that's the opposite of how that play happened. It was the first baseman trying to throw home, and there's no obligation for Grandal to get out of the way or run anywhere. He can run anywhere he wants, basically, before he gets to 45 feet. Then he needs to be inside that box that's in foul territory. So Dusty was trying to argue he was running inside the baseline, but that rule doesn't actually apply to that, which was I'd never seen that before. I don't know if you had. The first thing I thought of is he should have been called out. It was actually would have been a double play if that's how they had ruled it, which would have been incorrect. Had you ever seen that before, where a base runner gets in the way of a first baseman throwing home?
I've never seen a throw bounce off of a catcher's. We'll say catcher in this instance, because the catchers are legendary in White Sox playoffs.
Doing. Well, the irony is that AJ was calling this all as it unfolded.
Yes.
One of the most famous plays in White Sox history. A wily catcher doing wily things.
Yeah, and I think it's, the knowledge of the game and the fact that, to your point, if the play is at the first baseman or any of the infielders or even the pitcher, the runner establishes the baseline.
Exactly.
And how he's running.
It was bizarre where he did it. I mean, it looked crazy, but he can do whatever he wants when he's running at that point in the baseline. So
I think it was AJ said to Wainwright, "You'll be careful, because he could essentially just run right at you if he wanted to at first, and then make a beeline." So
I liked when AJ figured out like how the rule actually worked, because I'm not sure he was fully aware at the time until they started walking through it, and he's like, "Well, shit, I should come back to baseball if I can get away with shit like this."
Yeah,
he was getting inspired by the craftiness.
By the way, quick diversion for a second. He is A+ I
couldn't believe how good he was.
He's so great. He is so great because he's, why? Because he's just an asshole. So he's not gonna sugarcoat it for either team. he's just going to say how it is and be really brutally honest about things. And that's
Yeah.
why I think he was great.
The coolest thing is I don't like Adam Wainwright much, and I've never heard him broadcast before, but it was really cool to have a catcher and a pitcher bouncing ideas off of each other in the booth. And I think that's where they are really good. And Adam Amin just sort of sat back and let him go. And it was fascinating. They broke down stuff very quickly. AJ, boy, if you're looking for a we'll get to this in the off season maybe, but if you're looking for a new manager on the South Side,
Yeah,
I
well,
would
his
highly.
name has already come up
I'm not sure if
as
he's interested in it, but
yeah.
you could tell his thought process was that of a manager at this point. Like how he was picking out things way before they were happening and what should be happening and critical of things that weren't happening,
Yes.
which is awesome. That's all you could ask for in a broadcast. But boy, I would not be surprised to see him potentially on the South Side fairly soon, because you're going to have a new manager at some point, performance or not. Just age is going to catch up with the TLR. So